Are you guys ready to start a new car project that just happens to be one of my favorite cars of all time? That is totally different from the car I introduced about 3 weeks ago? If so, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Auto Obsessive Garage. Chadwick with you again for a new installment of Project 1114. That is the badge number of this 1991 Mitsubishi Galant VR-4 you see sitting behind me. Yeah, deja vu, right? Didn't we just do this? Didn't you just have a beautiful Belize green Mitsubishi Galant VR-4 in the garage and you were doing some work to it? You are right. This is a 91, that's a 92. Come on, you gotta have one of each, right? I've got a problem, guys. We try to be humorous about this, but I really have a problem. Anyway, how can I pass up on another Mitsubishi Galant VR-4 in stock condition coming up for sale? I simply can't. Regardless, I'm gonna take you through this car, give you a little history about this specific car, because it's got a cool background, and we're gonna go around, check it out, because it is in premium condition, or what I consider premium condition for a 1991 Mitsubishi Galant VR-4. If you're out there looking, or you've looked around, if you've owned these cars, this one's pretty epic. So I definitely wanna show that to you. But we will do this series, it's gonna go parallel. I'll probably still do some stuff on the 92 at the same time, but for the most part, we're gonna jump on this one. It needs basically the same maintenance items, so that won't be any different, but it does need a whole suspension job, so we'll be including that. That's gonna be a big part of this. And the turbo does not feel as healthy as it should be. It doesn't feel, even though it's just a little 14B from the factory, it doesn't feel like it's making the kind of boost it should. So actually it doesn't feel like the other 92 that I've just driven recently, so I have a very good benchmark to compare it to. So we'll probably pop that exhaust manifold off after we do some other stuff to the car, and if the power doesn't feel like it's there, I just want to make sure it's not cracked. Any of the turbo housing near the wastegate is usually a big problem. These older exhaust manifolds, they just have that issue, so we'll make sure there's no cracking or anything causing less boost than what I should be feeling, or if the turbo's tired. So yeah, there's some different stuff, some good stuff to address, but let's take you around the car. I mean, I'm super pumped, super happy to have two of my favorite cars in the garage at the same time. It actually smells like Mitsubishi Galant VR-4 in here, and if you've owned one or you've been in one, you know the smell, kind of like the Volkswagen folks have their crayon smell. Galant VR-4s have their own smell, and it's delightful. I just love the smell of the garage right now. So anyway, I'm gonna start babbling. Let's do a history lesson, then I'll show you the car. Oh man. Now you're seeing where the obsessive part of the name comes into play for Auto Obsessive Garage. Let's check it out, guys. Pull yourself up a garage stool. It's time for a history lesson in the Auto Obsessive Garage. We're not going to do a history lesson of the Galant VR-4 altogether like we did last time, that really brief one that we shot like 3 weeks ago, right? When I introduced to my 92. This time I want to do the actual history of this particular car behind me, because I think it's definitely worthy of that treatment. It does have an awesome backstory. So, cue the filter. We're going back in time to the year 1990. It wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. Anyway, 1990. Mitsubishi was an actual dealership putting out exciting products, things you wanted to drive. Flash forward back to today, where they only put out misnamed crossovers. An Eclipse? Okay, anyway, who buys Mitsubishis anymore? Good question. 1990. Two very great 1991 models are coming out this year. The Mitsubishi Galant VR-4, which you all know has my heart, and another Mitsubishi that I really like and I've had a version of, or two, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR-4. Ah yes. So, the car behind me, a one owner example. They purchased this car in 1990. The cool story is, it was a lady that owned this car all that time. How awesome is that? Her and her husband went to the Mitsubishi dealership together and walked away with two of the greatest models Mitsubishi has ever released. She scored this amazing Galant VR-4 that you see behind me, and her husband scored a 3000 GT VR-4. What a cool power couple from the early 90s to have both VR-4s brand new. So awesome. And not only that, but she held on to it all this time. Kept it completely stock, which is commendable. Very few of these things remain in stock condition. Really good on the maintenance, kept it in pretty awesome overall shape. The story with the 3000 GT VR-4 was a little different. Apparently, it was stolen from the couple and the joyriders crashed, and apparently there were fatalities involved with the actual car thieves only. So, really interesting story there. It was the story from the original owner, so take that with a grain of salt, but it is an amazing one. That's when they no longer had both cars. I don't know if they owned Mitsubishis after that, but this one stayed in the family. So, long story short, how did I come to get this fine example, and why did an original owner get rid of it? Well, my good friend works for a charity organization that accepts a lot of donated cars. You might remember my Taurus SHO, that original 89. Yup, he's the one that tipped me off for that. So he's kind of like my jalopy car broker. Anytime something interesting comes along that's, you know, beyond anyone else's wrenching value proposition, I'll take those projects on if it's really that cool, really that interesting. So that's how that relationship works. Yeah, probably a problem, but yeah. So anyway, this is one of those, called me up, hey, I got a Mitsubishi Galant VR-4. My reply is, cool, I've got one of those in my garage too that I'm supposed to be working on. Why not add another one? And that's how we ended up in this scenario. So the owner obviously was quite old at this time, had handicap plates on the car, didn't really get around to driving it much, and deferred maintenance really adds up. Timing belt water pump due, water pump's leaking a little bit, and you know, at that point you're like, I don't want to keep dumping money into this thing. They just kind of gave it up to the charity. So I got a really good deal on it. It does need a lot of TLC in the form of maintenance, but we'll go over that as we look at the car. But that's just a story I wanted to share with you guys. How often can you find a one-owner Mitsubishi Galant VR-4, a car that's already unbelievably rare as it is? Not to mention, only 145,000 miles. That's super low from all the ones I've seen. Most of them I've actually owned were above 200,000, so awesomely low mileage. Plan for the car, we'll get to that. So I just thought I'd share that history with you guys.
Deja vu again, right? So here we are with our 1991 Mitsubishi Galant VR-4, number 1114 out of 2000. Let's go around the exterior of the car. As you can see outside, it's in amazing condition, given its year. Yeah, it's pretty stunning. Unbelievable condition for sure. Is it perfect? No, they never are. Let's take a look at the exterior and see some of the issues we're gonna have to deal with. Overall, pretty good. You will see some dings in certain places, right there in the hood, some rock chips, lots of chipping in the front bumper area. This is, again, from an age before aerodynamics, so a lot of rock chips. Small little scratches here and there. Wheels are in excellent shape, and you remember from my previous video, the 91s had the multi-spoke, 8-spoke wheels versus the 5 spokes that are on the 92s. Still body color matched, which is fantastic. We do have some pretty good fade here on the trim that we'll have to take care of. I've actually not seen too much of that on the Galant VR-4, so I believe this one was exposed to quite a bit of sunshine. We'll go ahead and take care of that trim, not an issue. But as we walk around the car, you can just see it's in absolutely fantastic condition. Come around the rear, everything's looking good here too. The amazing Galant VR-4 with the actual physical badge. In 91, I do like that over the integrated one on the 92 taillights. As you can see, the taillights are a different design too. Another way to tell the cars apart. Love that badge though. 4-wheel steering sticker still there. Pretty awesome. Not too many of those have survived. Good Toyo tires at each corner, so that's a great sign. Won't have to be getting into that. Brakes feel good too, but of course we'll give it a look. Now I've got small door dings down the side that paintless dent removal can probably take care of. Just looks to be in very good shape, guys. Let's check out the interior of this car. So, In standard Galant VR-4 fashion, the interior has held up exceptionally well. This car only has 145,000 miles on it, which in Galant VR-4 land is exceptionally low. Again, one owner, super rare. Everything's stock in here. There's our stock steering wheel, stock radio. It does not have the premium sound system like some had, the CD and cassette combo. It's just the cassette and stereo combo. You can see the 5-speed manual. That's the only option you had. Huge gauge cluster. You got your badge over here also. Yeah, we've got badge number 1114 out of 2,000. Remember, there's 2,000 of these things made in 91, only 1,000 in 92. There's that mileage, 145K. So low for a Mitsubishi Galant VR-4. Incredible. And everything is just held up. No cracks. These dashes do not crack. They're kind of a padded vinyl, and that's the reason. Look at these seats. Boy, Galant VR-4 seats are amazing, aren't they? I don't know what kind of super cow leather they used, but man, it really got the job done. All right, let's bring up something negative then. Now, this was not originally a sunroof car. That's right. There's a sunroof, which you saw right there. This is completely aftermarket. So not sure if they did this when they first got the car or whatnot. Availability was low, so maybe they did want that sunroof option. So they had an aftermarket one installed. Now, a couple issues with that. I haven't opened it yet. It doesn't leak, so that's a plus. But, you know, I don't want to open it and have it stay open. So it does bum me out because it's not super original, and it does have a little bit of wear and tear here and there. Like these areas, I can fix pretty much that, make it look nice again. It doesn't look horrible. Unless you're a Galant VR-4 aficionado, you might not even pick up on it immediately. That being said, you know, it does bother me that it's not completely original, but it does look to be high quality, so it is what it is. It does have a sunroof now. So does it bother me from an originality standpoint? You bet. You know how I'm obsessive about this stuff, guys. But it looks good. Fitment's really good, doesn't leak. Probably operates just fine too. Other than that, completely bone stock car, honestly. Why would you have any reason to believe the back seats aren't in the same condition? Sure, they could use a cleaning out, but this leather is just out of this world. I mean, look how good this interior is, guys. Oh boy. Now, if you thought the interior and exterior were in amazing condition, take a look at this. Bone stock engine bay in fantastic working order. Car idles great, car passed smog immediately with no issue. 100% factory stock in here, nothing ever aftermarket added. Yeah, and it's already really clean. I'll get it a little cleaner, of course, but unbelievable. What gives? What do we need to do to this car? Well, quite a bit of deferred maintenance, and that's reason enough for people to get rid of these at a pretty good price apparently, because not a lot of shops will touch these anymore. It is not a fun timing belt job. I'm not saying it's undoable or ultra challenging, but it's not fun. So, timing belt, water pump need to be done. Also noticed, yeah, a little bit of cooling on my garage floor. So, coming from the right side of the engine, apologize for the harsh shadows, but timing belt, drive belts, everything's on this side of the engine, the driver's side. So, guaranteed that water pump seeping a little bit. So, we'll go ahead, do that when we do the timing belt. One more thing, we'd always do that anyway. This car actually has working AC. As you can see, the AC was refreshed. How awesome is that? Working AC in a 91 Galant VR-4. It's just amazing, guys, I'm telling you. Suspension also is completely worn on this thing. So we're gonna try to get some KYB replacement struts on there, and that'll bring the ride back to where it should be. But this is awesome. How often can you guys find this? I think the ability to find a stock Galant VR-4 like this is becoming one of the rarest opportunities, to tell you the truth. So we've got our work cut out for us. We've got a mountain of deferred maintenance and worn out parts to replace, in the quest to keep this one also bone stock.
Well, there you have it. A bit of a conundrum right now. Two Galant VR-4s needing a poop ton of maintenance to be taken care of, two builds starting at nearly the same time, and then ultimately coming to a decision that I can only keep one of these two cars. Really, I'm leaning towards the 92, and the reason being is this 91 is definitely the car in better shape. The body, the paint, so much better condition. The fact that it also has, what, 13,000 fewer miles, also cool. And a one-owner car, It's very cool. It's a very cool example. I would be happy to keep either of these. The only issue is I didn't get any of the paperwork with the original owner. They tossed it out as soon as they donated it. Yeah, super bummer. I wish I had that pamphlet of all original paperwork. But regardless, I do have the window sticker for the 92. I love sentimental stuff like that, so just put me over the top. I love that 92 a lot too. I did purchase it first, so I had little dreams about what I was gonna do with it. So that's gonna be the one I keep. The 91 on the other hand, I am gonna do an awesome restoration to. Make sure it's in the mechanical condition that it should be, which is the rarest to find them in that kind of condition, and then I'm gonna let it free to the world. I want this to go to someone that's gonna keep it, put it in their private collection. I don't think it's worth that much. I'm just kidding. I want it to go to someone that's an enthusiast that really follows these cars and will greatly enjoy how absolutely mint it is, up to speed on its maintenance. So that's the plan. We're gonna fix it up, we're gonna sell it. So that being the case, we're gonna go ahead and work on this one first, and then we'll bounce back to finishing up the 92. So let's put a lot of effort into 1114 here. What a heck of a car. I can't wait to get wrenching on it. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna come out amazing. Can't wait to set it loose in the world too, and someone's really gonna enjoy this car. Boy, these Galant VR4s, finding them in stock condition, good luck. And this one's just absolutely cool. The whole one owner aspect, yeah, it's a good one. Next week, we'll have some updates with this car. We'll start wrenching on it. We'll start doing the maintenance that needs to be done. It's gonna be quite a project. There's a lot to be done, but we'll get there, okay? Again, thanks for following along, guys. I'm sorry it's crazy at times. No, I'm not. That's the whole point of this channel. Catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.